Hello everyone, welcome to this new video of integration series. Today in this video, we'll be learning about types of integration in ServiceNow. So let's get started. In ServiceNow, there are two types of integration based on the direction of data flow. One is inbound while the other one is outbound. Inbound integration means ServiceNow is the receiver of request from another system or application. In inbound integration, ServiceNow acts as the server, which will be receiving request from another third-party application that acts as the client. Let's take some examples. A monitoring tool creates incident in ServiceNow. Let's say we have a monitoring tool, some tool, and it is sending us incident data. Now, ServiceNow take that request and do some operations using that request and then creates incident in some ServiceNow table. Second one, Salesforce send case updates to ServiceNow. So Salesforce is a third party system that is sending some data to ServiceNow. Now ServiceNow takes that data, takes that request and stores the case data in ServiceNow case tables. So this is inbound integration. Outbound integration is when ServiceNow sends request to an external system, meaning ServiceNow acts as the client pushing data out or requesting information. In inbound, ServiceNow will implement the endpoints or URLs, while in outbound, ServiceNow will be making requests to external endpoint or URLs. So, by the crux of it, you can understand this thing by in inbound integration, ServiceNow acts as the server, while in outbound integration, ServiceNow acts as the client. The next topic is out of the box APIs. So similar to other ServiceNow products, in integrations as well, ServiceNow provides some pre-built APIs that we can use. Those are out of the box APIs. Out of the box APIs are the pre-built, ready to use APIs provided by ServiceNow to interact with its platform without requiring custom development. You don't need to do any scripting to use these out of the box APIs. These APIs allow you to perform standard operations like creating incidents, querying users, updating tasks, managing CMDB items, etc. via REST or SOAP interfaces without writing custom scripts. Out of the box APIs are predefined and maintained by ServiceNow only, available by default on every instance. So whenever you have any instance, whether it might be your personal developer instance as well, out of the box APIs are pre-built, versioned and well documented, used for integration, automation and development. Some out of the box APIs in ServiceNow are table APIs, import set APIs, attachment APIs, service catalog APIs, etc. We'll learn about a few of them in our coming videos. The first one is the table API. So table API is a kind of out of the box API that ServiceNow provides. Its features include it works with standard and both custom tables. That is, you can perform CRUD operations. Those are create, read, update, or delete operations on any ServiceNow table using out of the box table API. In the example, you can see we are calling our table API on incident table and we are sending a query that says syspam underscore query equals to active equals true, and we are sending an HTTP verb get in this case. Now let us see how to use table APIs in our personal developer instance. I have opened my PDI where we'll be looking at how to use table APIs. So I'll go into Filter Navigator and search for REST API Explorer. I'll open it. It will open something like this. Now the question arises, what REST API Explorer is. So REST API Explorer is a tool that ServiceNow provided you to test and to test your APIs basically. Okay, and develop your APIs as well. So what it tells you. So in this you can see multiple things. We'll look into each one of these one by one. So in the left side you can see namespace, API name and API version. From this API name section, you can select which out of the box API or any API you want to test. So let's say these are all the list of out of the box API that are pre-built in ServiceNow, right? Inside this, right now I have selected table API. You can select the version, which version you want to use. I have chosen the latest one. Now you can see there are multiple things that are written in the left side. Retrieve records from a table, create a record, retrieve a record, modify a record, delete a record, and update a record. So these are all the operations that we can perform on any of our ServiceNow table. Okay. The first one says retrieve records from a table, that is get. So if I want to retrieve some data from our ServiceNow table, we can use this thing, right? Or if you want to create a record in the table, you can click on this. It will automatically generate a new endpoint for you. You can see if I did click on retrieve a record, that is retrieve a single record, it will update your endpoint here, right? And similarly, you can also see the HTTP verb, that is get in this case, coming up here. So what we'll do, we'll take a scenario where we want to fetch some incidents data from our incident table. So I'll click on retrieve records from a table. So you can see the endpoint here. In the endpoint, you can see the kind of protocol we are using, our instance URL, our path parameters, API slash now slash table, and then we are giving our table name as the path parameters. Now you can notice one thing, that this table name is written inside curly brackets. What does this signify? This signify this table name is dynamic. We can set the value of this table name from here, table name. You can select any table, like right now I'm selecting incident table. I clicked on incident table, right? This is prepare request section. So we are preparing our request body. So we selected our table name. Then we can give any other query parameters that we want. Path parameters we have already given. Now we can give any query parameters that we want. So let's say syspam query or syspam limit or syspam fields, whatever you want to give, you can give it, right? Right now, for our testing purposes, we are not giving any query parameters. You can also see request headers here. So all the types of request header like request format, response format, and authorization is auto populated. So right now we are choosing request format as application slash JSON. That means we want our request body, we are sending our request body in JSON format. Similarly, response format means in what format do we want to receive our response. That is also we have set as JSON. We can also change it to XML or text XML, right? But for now, we will test using JSON only. Now here in the lower section, you can see send button. So when I click on send, let's see what happens. Okay, now I clicked on send. Now you can see a request has been generated. Request is generated and we have received a response from ServiceNow. With the status code, it says 200. Okay, 200 means, if you remember in the HTTP status code video, I told you what 200 means. So 200 means success, that your request is successful and you have received a response. You can see the execution time that it took. You can see all the headers. And the most important thing, you can see the response body. So our API has returned us the incident details in the format of JSON. So you can see parent, task effective number, resolved by, and all the multiple fields that are there in the incident table. So right now we are getting only one record data. Why? Because in the query parameter we have set this value as 1. This is the maximum number of results returned per page. We have set this value as 1. If we can change this value to 10, let's say, let's see what happens then. I'll clear response for this API and I'll again send it. Again we have received 300. Okay. Okay. Let's see what is the response body this time. So now you can see we have received multiple incident data. Second incident, then third incident. So similarly, we'll be getting 10 incident record data here. So using this table API, you can fetch incident data or any table data. Second, we have create a record. Through this is a post API. So using this, you can create record in any ServiceNow table that you want. Let's say if I want to create any record in incident table, I can create it from here only. I'll select incident and then I can give my request body here. So I have to give all the fields for the incident table that are number, assignment group, assigned to, state, and all inside here. Using this add a field value, I can select the active. I can give value test true. I can click on plus sign. I can give another field value activity due, and similar to this, it will automatically create a request body for you. Then you can click on send. It will create a record in incident table. So this way you can play with this table API and do multiple operations in any of the ServiceNow table that you want. I hope you must have understood about inbound and outbound integrations and how to use table APIs and REST API Explorer in this video. We'll be coming up with more videos on integration in this playlist. So please stay tuned. Thanks all.